What's up mga kaguro at mga mag-aaral? Umuli ang inyong online teacher, Sir Franco, para sa panibagong aralin sa General Science. Sa nakaraang lesson, tinalakay natin ang motion at mga basic quantities tulad ng displacement, velocity, at acceleration. Ngayon, mas lalaliman pa natin. Aalamin natin kung paano ginagamit ang translational at rotational motion sa totoong buhay, sa galaw ng katawan, at pati sa design ng machines at ergonomic objects. This lesson focuses on how motion is described and applied in real-world situations. We will examine two major types of motion, translational motion and rotational motion, and understand the physical quantities used to describe them. More importantly, we will see how these concepts apply to human movement, machines, and ergonomic designs that we encounter in daily life. Here are the learning objectives for this lesson. The teachers may use this when crafting their lesson plan. Importante rin na alam ninyo kung ano ang inaasahan ninyong matutuhan kasi dito natin ibabase kung naging successful ang lesson natin for this video. At the end of this lesson, learners are expected not only to identify and compare different types of motion, but also to analyze how these motions are applied in different practical contexts. Our goal is to move beyond definitions and develop an appreciation of how physics concepts guide safe, efficient, and functional design in real life. Let's do first a warm-up activity. Answer this question. Think about this. Why do wheels roll instead of just sliding? Why does your arm both lift and rotate when you throw a ball? These questions are meant to activate your prior knowledge and encourage you to observe motion more carefully. Many everyday movements involve more than one type of motion at the same time. Recognizing these help us understand why motion needs different physical descriptions. Simple lang ang galaw na yan, pero dalawang uri ng motion ang nangyayari sa mga senaryo na ito. At yan mismo ang focus natin ngayon, translational and rotational motion. Recall lang natin sandali. What is motion? Motion refers to a change in position relative to a reference point over time. Before discussing specific types of motion, it is important to remember that motion can occur along straight paths, curved paths, or circular paths, depending on how object moves. Hindi lahat ng galaw ay diretso, at hindi lahat ay ikot. May iba't ibang uri ng motion depende sa behavior ng isang object. Now, discuss na natin yung two types of motion na kanina pa nababanggit. First, we have the translational motion. In translational motion, the entire object moves in such a way that all of its points behave identically. This means that if we track one point on the object, we can accurately describe the motion of the entire object using that single point. Sa translational motion, isipin ninyo na para bang sabay-sabay ang galaw ng lahat ng parte ng object. Kahit straight line o curved path, basta pareho ang kilos ng lahat ng points, translational motion iyon. Translational motion is a type of motion where every point of an object behaves in the same way. This means that if the object moves, all its points move through the same displacement, in the same direction, and in the same amount of time. Even if the path is curved, as long as the motion of all points is uniform, it is still considered translational motion. This is why a car turning on a curved road is still undergoing translational motion as a whole. Translational motion is described using linear quantities. These quantities measure motion based on straight line concepts, even when the actual path may be curved. They provide a simplified but accurate way of describing motion. Ito ang mga quantities na ginagamit natin para mailarawan ang translational motion. Ang tawag dito ay linear dahil sinusukat nila base sa straight line distance mula simula hanggang dulo. These include linear displacement, linear velocity, and linear acceleration. Unahin natin ang linear displacement. Ito ay hindi basta distance traveled. Ang displacement ay tumitingin lamang sa kung saan ka nagsimula at saan ka nagtapos. Halimbawa, kung umikot ka sa buong oval track pero bumalik ka sa iyong pinanggalingan, zero ang displacement mo, kahit malayo ang distance na nilakad mo. Importante ang direction dito, kaya ang displacement ay isang vector quantity. Sa translational motion, lahat ng points ng objects ay may parehong displacement. Kaya isang displacement lang ang sapat para ilarawan ang buong galaw ng object. Linear displacement only depends on the initial and final positions of an object, not the path taken. It is a vector quantity, meaning it has both magnitude and direction. In translational motion, one displacement value describes the motion of the entire object. It is usually measured in meters. Ngayon, linear velocity naman. Ito ang sagot sa tanong na gaano kabilis at saan papunta. Hindi sapat na mabilis ka, mahalaga rin ang direksyon. Halimbawa, isang kotse na 60 kilometers per hour pa north, isang kotse na 60 kilometers per pa south. Pareho ang speed pero magkaiba ang velocity. Sa translational motion, lahat ng points ng objects ay may parehong linear velocity sa anumang instant. Ibig sabihin, ang buong katawan ay gumagalaw na parang isang solid na buo. Linear velocity tells us how fast and in what direction displacement changes over time. Even if two objects have the same speed, they can have different velocities if they are moving in different directions. And this quantity is usually measured in meters per second or combination of both the magnitude and of uh, the distance covered and the time it take for it to cover that distance. And then we have linear acceleration. Ang linear acceleration ay mas malawak kaysa sa pagbilis. May acceleration kapag bumibilis, bumabagal o nagbabago ng direksyon. Halimbawa, biglang pagpreno ng sasakyan, pagliko habang mabilis ang takbo. Kahit constant ang speed, kapag nagbabago ang direction, may acceleration pa rin. Sa translational motion, lahat ng points ng objects ay may parehong linear acceleration. Ito ang isa sa pinakamahalagang palatandaan ng translational motion. Linear accelerations occur whenever there is a change in velocity. This includes speeding up, slowing down, or changing direction. This explains why a turning car experiences acceleration even at constant speed. And it is measured in meters per square seconds. These examples show that translational motion is not limited to straight paths. We have here a person walking forward, a car moving along a road, an airplane flying, straight or curved path. As long as all points of the object move together in the same manner, the motion remains translational regardless of the shape of the path. Kahit pakurbado ang daan, translational pa rin iyon basta lahat ng parte ng object ay gumagalaw ng pare-pareho. Next, we have rotational motion. Rotational motion occurs when an object turns or spins about a fixed point or axis. In this type of motion, different parts of the object move in different ways depending on their distance from the axis of rotation. Dito naman, hindi sabay-sabay ang galaw ng bawat point. Mas malayo sa center, mas malaki ang dinadaan ng distance. Ayan ang pinaka-importante sa rotational motion. In rotational motion, the object rotates around a fixed axis. Unlike translational motion, not all points move the same way. Points farther from the axis travel a longer distance than points closer to the center, even though they rotate together. This difference in motion is what makes rotational motion unique and why we describe it using angular quantities. Kung sa rotational motion ang ginagamit natin ay linear quantities, to properly describe rotational motion, we use angular quantities. These quantities focus on angles and rotation rather than straight line distances, making them more suitable for circular and spinning motions. Kaya ang tawag natin sa kanila ay angular dahil nakabase sila sa angles at pag-ikot, hindi sa diretso lang na distansya. And these are described using angular displacement, angular velocity, and angular acceleration. Isa-isayin natin ang mga angular quantities. We have first, angular displacement. Ito ay hindi tungkol sa layo, kundi sa tungkol gaano kalaki ang inikot. Halimbawa, pagbukas ng pinto ng 90 degrees, isang buong ikot ng electric fan na 360 degrees yung nasa ceiling. Importante rito, kahit maliit o malaking object, kung pareho ang iniikot, pareho ang angular displacement nila. Ito ang kaibahan sa translational motion. Hindi na distance kundi angle ang tinitingnan. Angular displacement measures how much an object has rotated. It is based on angle, not distance, and is used only when the motion involves rotation. It can either be clockwise or counterclockwise. Next, angular velocity. Angular ang velocity ay sagot sa tanong na gaano kabilis umiikot. Halimbawa, mabagal na ikot ng ceiling fan, mabilis na ikot ng blender. Kahit magkaiba ang layo ng puntos mula sa sentro, pareho ang angular velocity nila. Ito ang mahalaga. Sa rotational motion, pareho ang angular velocity ng lahat ng points, kahit magkaiba ang kanilang linear velocity. Angular velocity refers to how fast an object rotates. All points of a rigid rotating body have the same angular velocity even though their linear speeds may differ. It is measured in rad per seconds. And then we have angular acceleration na nangyayari kapag bumibilis ang ikot o bumabagal ang ikot o kaya naman ay nagbabago ang direksyon ng ikot. Halimbawa, blender na unti-unting bumibilis kapag iniiba yung setting ng speed, dancer na biglang humihinto sa pag-ikot. Kapag nagbabago ang angular velocity, may angular acceleration tayo. Tandaan, sa rotational motion, kahit pareho ang angular acceleration, magkakaiba pa rin ang linear acceleration ng points, depende sa layo nila sa axis. Angular acceleration occurs when the spin, speed, or direction of rotation changes. It is commonly observed in machines that start, stop, or change rotation speed. All of these examples involve a clear axis of rotation. We have electric fan, door opening, and merry-go-round. Even though the objects may appear simple, the motion of each point on the object varies based on its position, which is why angular quantities are needed. Sa lahat ng ito, may sentro axis na iniikutan. Iyan ang key identifier ng rotational motion. Now let's compare linear and angular quantities. For the big idea, linear, straight line yung description, angular, rotational, and they are used together in real objects. Kasi sa totoong mundo, bihira ang object na pure lang ang isang paggalaw. Kadalasan, pinagsasama ang linear at angular quantities. Kapag rolling wheel, linear displacement ng center, angular displacement ng rim. Dito pumapasok ang kagahandahan ng physics. Isang galaw, maraming paraan para i-describe. Dito malinaw naman na makikita ang pagkakaiba nila. Hindi naman sila magkalaban, magkaiba lang ng behavior ng motion. This table summarizes the key differences between the two types of motion. Translational motion treats the object as a whole unit, while rotational motion focuses on how different parts of the object move relative to its axis. Understanding this comparison helps us correctly identify which physical quantities to use in real-life applications. This comparison highlights the key difference between the two types of motion. In translational motion, uniformity across points is observed. In rotational motion, there is variation in how each point moves even though the objects rotates together. Important reminder, motion types are not mutually exclusive. Napakahalaga nito, ang isang object ay pwedeng translational at rotational at the same time. Many real-world motions involve both translational and rotational motion simultaneously. Understanding this idea allows us to describe complex motions more accurately instead of forcing them into one category only. Here are examples of combined motion. We have rolling wheel, rolling ball, and moving vehicle tires. Habang gumagalaw pasulong, translational. Habang umiikot, rotational. Ito ang madalas na nangyayari sa totoong buhay. These examples clearly show how an object can rotate while also moving from one place to another. Such combined motion is common in machines, vehicles, and even sports movements. Both types of motion, translational and rotational, can also be applied or observed in human movement, such as walking, running, dancing, or doing gymnastics routines. Ang katawan ng tao ay bihirang gumalaw ng iisang uri lang ng motion. Halos laging combination ng galaw. Human movement rarely involves a single type of motion. Most actions such as walking, running, or dancing require a combination of body translation and joint rotation. This is why understanding both types of motion is essential in sports, science, and biomechanics. A specific example from that idea, throwing a ball. When throwing a ball, the arms move forward, which is translational motion, while joints rotate, which is rotational motion. Analyzing movement this way helps improve performance and reduce the risk of injury. Kung naiintindihan natin ito, mas nagiging klaro kung paano gumagalaw ang katawan at kung paano natin ito mapapahusay o mapaprotektahan. Now, let's apply this concept to real-life scenarios or everyday activities. We have first translational and rotational motion in ergonomic designs. Ergonomic designs are based on how the human body naturally moves. Designers use translational and rotational motion principles to minimize strain and maximize comfort and efficiency. Ang ergonomic designs ay hindi lang tungkol sa comfort. Ito ay tungkol sa tamang paggamit ng motion principles. Here are ergonomic examples. We have swivel chair, which applies rotational motion, adjustable desk, which applies translational motion, and combination is seen in or on office chair wheels. Ginagamit ang rotation para hindi pilitin ang katawan. Ang translation para mailapit o malayo ang object ng madali. These examples show how translational and rotational motions are intentionally built into everyday tools and furniture. The goal is to allow natural movement without forcing the body into awkward positions. Why understanding motion matters? Kapag mali ang motion design, sasakit ang likod, balikat o tuhod. Physics help prevent that. Understanding motion allows engineers, designers, and health professionals to make informed decisions. This knowledge leads to a safer environments, more efficient machines, and better human-centered designs. Now let's proceed to the activities and assessment related to our topic. Activity 1. What quantity is at work? So identify the quantity present in each situation. Pause the video and identify which quantity best describes each motion. Focus on whether the motion is straight or rotating to determine if it is a change in position, speed, or rate of change. Activity 2. Translational or rotational. For each situation, answer the type of motion and the quantity involved. So elevator going up, that is translational, and it shows linear displacement or velocity. Washing machine, rotational, and it shows angular velocity. Then car turning, a curve, translational, linear acceleration. And swivel chair rotating, that is rotational, and angular displacement is shown. Activity 3, match the quantity. We have here on the left side the situation and on the right side the quantity. Now let's proceed to the assessment. Number 1, a car moves from point A to point B in a straight line. Which quantity best describes this motion? So that is B, linear displacement. 2, a ceiling fan rotates at a constant speed. Which quantity is being observed? So that is C, angular velocity. 3, a dancer spins faster and faster while staying in one place. Which quantity changes? So that is the angular acceleration. 4, a car moves around a curved road at a constant speed. So that is still linear acceleration. 5, a door opens from 0 to 90 degrees. Which quantity best describes this? So that is angular displacement. 6, a washing machine increases its spinning speed during the spin cycle. Which quantity is involved? So spinning, then nag-change speed. So that is angular acceleration. Now, answer the following reflection questions. Hindi lang ito pang exam, ito ay pang buhay, pang trabaho at pang design. These questions encourage you to connect physics concepts to real-life situations. And it also helps deepen our understanding and reinforces the value of studying motion beyond academic requirements. And that's it for our lesson about the translational and rotational motion. Remember, understanding motion help us move, design, and live better. Kapag naiintindihan natin ang galaw, mas naiintindihan natin ang mundo and pati ang sarili natin. By understanding translational and rotational motion, we gain a clearer picture of how objects and humans move. This knowledge empowers us to design better systems, improve performance, and make everyday activities safer and more effective. Once again, thanks to the development team of the lesson exemplar kung saan ibinase ang mga bahagi ng discussion page na ito. Muli, akong inyong online teacher, Sir Franco. Thank you for watching.